And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Next Round Sports. And we've kind of mixed it up here a little bit for you tonight as we're doing basically our take on a Manning cast as we are currently watching Mavericks Timberwolves in progress in game four. Mavericks leading the series
Going for
3
that sweep.
nothing. Going for the
Going for
sweep.
the sweep.
Now, Derek Lively is missing this game after being injured unintentionally by Carl Anthony Towns with that knee to the head. Uh, they're in game three, so he is not there, but Maxi Kleber will be, or allegedly from the beginning of the game, I haven't seen him yet, is allegedly supposed to be in this game. So,
Yeah,
coming
very
back
true.
from his injury back in May 3rd. But yeah, we're just going to kind of take it loose and kind of just talk our points of the game, talk about how we think the series has gone to this point and the problems that Minnesota has had. I mean, this is the first time in league history that a team has gone up 3-0 and has not been leading with 5 minutes left or less in the fourth quarter. It's really
Like I
crazy how
said,
the
like
series
like I
has gone.
think I think the Timberwolves just hit that wall. This is the farthest I think any of them have ever been. Ant, Cat, Gobert. I just think they've hit a
Except for Mike
wall.
Conley. Mike Conley, I think, is the only one that's gone far enough, farther or to
Yeah,
the
and he's
distance.
also played a little more consistently too. Out of all those names we mentioned,
I don't buy in that. I mean, I don't buy. There's no excuse for it. The Wolves had game two completely wrapped up. There was no wall to be, broken through there. They broke through that wall. They blew the fucking game. They completely blew it. And I knew that shot that Luca put up in at the end of game two was going in. Everyone knew that was going in.
you mean
Everyone knew it.
game
The only
three
one who just Rudy
or
knew it.
game two? Yeah.
And that's on Chris Finch for putting Rudy on Luke in that spot.
It
There's
was.
no reason
Well,
why
you blaming the coach
Rudy
or the
should have
assistant
been
coach? I mean,
guarding.
the coach is yelling a lot more from the sidelines now, in his second level chair, but the assistant coach is still technically coaching right now. So who's making that decision?
Also, well, I don't know who the hell's making the decision to give Lively and Gafford wide open alley oops throughout the end of game two. Also,
That's
Well,
just bad
there was no
footwork by
defense
Gobert
for
and your
that.
bigs. That's just bad footwork.
That's they tried.
I mean,
No,
Reed's
that's
the only one
not.
keeping up with that.
Well, the
But
guys at the
Steve,
guys inside the NBA, Chuck and Shaq, all them, they talked about this of doing these weak double teams. They're coming up and double teaming, but Kyrie and Luca are just realizing they can hold on the ball for 2 seconds longer, and the guys are going to go away, and the double team's off. They don't stick to it and double team them hard and actually force them to make a decision quick. They already know they can just hold it out for just a second and throw up the alley oop. It's just they're they're outsmarting them in their own game. They have not found a way to stop them
Yeah,
and
well, I'll go
slow
off
these
what
two
Chuck
guys
says
down.
too. This is a bad matchup for the Wolves, in all honesty, and I did not see it this way. But a team that can consistently hit the 3-pointers and get that outside shot is a bad matchup because you can avoid the twin towers of Cat and Gobert for the most part by sticking on the outside and then spreading this team out and attacking them like y'all are talking about with Derek Lively and Gafford going to the basket for those easy alley oops.
yeah,
And right
but
now,
also
currently,
too,
we're at 20. Minnesota's up 20-11 with 2:50 left in the first quarter. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just going to say another thing that hasn't helped. I mean, Edwards and Cat, or at least in the first two games, didn't show up. Cat obviously didn't show up in game three. Cat's done absolutely nothing this series. Anthony Edwards finally woke up in game three, but really, a main guy who's kept the Wolves in all these games is Naz Reid. If it weren't for him,
Oh,
they'd
Naz
have
Reid
gotten
and
their ass
Conley.
kicked in game
That's a moving
three.
screen by Cat, though. Um, there's a lot of moving screens in these
Minnesota
games.
coaching staff should have taken, like, okay, I know that in the new
There's Kleba.
NBA, if you're missing, if you go 0 for 8 from 3 point, oh well, he's a shooter. Just let him keep shooting. Charles and Shaq said that I think it's the old school way of thinking it. If the second or third three you miss, you should have took it inside and started attacking the goal. He didn't start attacking the basket.
Oh yeah, because it's about building rhythm. Like you can let a shooter shoot, but they've got to get a rhythm. And free throws and 2-pointers can help that.
Mm-hmm. And nowadays, everybody just wants to continue to shoot threes. Just keep, I'll get it is, and that's what I hate. That's how Seth Curry.
Not everyone's Seth Curry. He's a generational talent.
And that's the thing. Young kids are just shooting threes, just jacking them up from all over the place because of what they saw Seth Curry do. And there's only one Seth Curry. There's only one. There's a reason why.
Yep.
That's what I hate.
Maybe there's two. You got Clay, but Clay's kind of fallen off. And he's a free agent this year, so
I do not want him. No, not at all.
No? You were talking about how you might want him a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
You think he's cooked?
Yeah, he's done. Stick a fork in him. He's
Is
done.
it just because of injuries or what? Get the
all
fuck off the floor.
All of it. He looks.
What do you mean all of it?
Everything about him.
Well, you're going to have to narrow that down. Like the shooting you don't like? Because I mean, the
shooting,
still technically
the lack
there.
of defense, his health, everything, the whole
lack of defense. They still put him on the best player, and he holds the guy to a relatively below his average.
Not anymore. He is not that player anymore. 2 years ago, he was.
Look at it.
Done. He's
done. He holds them below their average every time.
Done.
Who is this?
Clay.
Oh, yeah.
To me, it's more the injuries.
He's done. He's done.
Clay's
There's nothing left in the tank. He is done.
Well, Draymond Green's done too.
Oh, agreed. Draymond
Green's he's talking to. That's why he's on the TNT cast.
How you bring up Draymond?
He's trying to get on the ESPN.
It's kind of. I mean,
what?
It's not humorous this way, but
there's been a lot of weird fouls in this.
He's shown his blatant hatred for the Timberwolves. Like he is like openly celebrating their losses. Have you guys seen this?
Oh, he's completely taking a dump on Cat, and like he's
well, technically, all of them have taken a dump on Cat. It's not.
Yes, everyone's taking a dump on
fair.
Especially with Cat coming out after game 3 saying that he's shooting 1,500 shots a day. No, he's not. He's not taking 1,500 shots a day. And they said
he might be, but he's not making. Yeah, he's not making a bunch of them.
No, not at all. You can jack up as many shots as you want all day long.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, Cat a couple years ago called himself one of the greatest, if not the greatest shooting big men of all time. And he can't make a fucking shot right now.
Well, that's the thing. He came into Dirk's house in the Western Conference Finals and laid an egg. Could have done it.
This is his first time in the Western Conference Finals. Must have been the semis.
No, game 3 in the Western Conference Finals, he said, he's already said, hey, I'm the best shooting big man. He could have came into Dirk's house, as they call it. He could have came this year and put on a show and proved that he was, but he didn't. He went 0 for 8 from the 3-point line and looked terrible. That's the story that's been going through through all the media, all the talking head pundits. That you came into Dirk's house saying you were the best 3-point shooting big man, and you went 0 for 8.
Yes, and arguably in the house of one of the biggest big.
He's shooting. He's got 26% field goal percentage, the second worst all time since the shot clock era in the playoffs. It's just it's atrocious to it.
Historically bad performance, and again, I think what has kept these games really close is the fact that, once again, Naz Reid I brought up earlier, but also Jaden McDaniels has been fantastic so far. Like, not only defensively.
When are you going to give Conley the love? When are you going to give Conley some love? He kept throwing that last game.
He's been good. He's been Mike Conley. I mean, he's not been like superhuman. He's been
do your job and get no praise, huh?
I'm just saying, like, he's doing what he's supposed to do. I mean, I don't think he's been like absolutely extraordinary. Mike Conley's been solid, like Mike Conley always is.
Now the question is, does he retire to this year too?
Not now.
You
No,
don't
not
think?
now.
You think he's
Mm-mm.
coming back?
He's got to chase that title still.
Well, of course he's got to chase that title if he wants it. He might just say, "Fuck it, I'm tired. I don't have that passion anymore." I mean, we've seen players do that before. And we've seen people be Karl Malone and get on the championship team.
I hope not. He's been too good of a leader for this team. So I mean, I think he might still
Agreed.
think there's some unfinished business left.
Agreed. And I kind of think you're right where he's going to stay, but it's always those question marks until they officially sign on the dotted line or say, "I'm coming back," as they say.
Ants having a game tonight. He's already got.
Mm-hmm. Well, how about some
14.
happier news for you, Jeff, that we can all be happy about? I'm going to change the subject just a little bit since it's a commercial break at the moment. The retirement of Angel Hernandez finally happening. I still can't believe he sued the NFL, even though Porter's frozen while we look up his nose. I still can't believe he sued the NFL for like racial integrity or racial issues of why he didn't become a crew chief. It's like, no, it's because you suck.
No,
I mean, I would have loved to have seen in the defense. Instead, the NFL went the safe route to not anger the union and went here's the numbers of minorities who got hired, and there's no discrepancy there. You know, it's stayed the same rate and everything, or not higher. Angel Hernandez could explain those numbers, so that's why he lost it. But I would have loved them just to like show all of his missed calls. Just be like, this is why we didn't hire you. Oh, look at that. That's a strike, huh? Oh no, that's a ball. I mean, when the announcers are even questioning you, like Tony Brothers, please retire too. Because I mean, when the announcers start questioning you and just go, I didn't see the foul. But what? It gets to a joke. I mean, we're in the Western Conference Finals here, and there's question marks about the officiating, especially when their Tony Brothers crew is on the floor. I mean, that foul against McDaniels for setting that hard screen against Jones was bullshit. That was just the Mavs not telling Jones, hey, watch out for the screen. That was on the Mavs. It was no foul on McDaniels.
No.
But there's some cuts to the basket even. I was like, that's not a foul. But whatever.
But like going back to Angel Hernandez.
Now the knee to Derek Lively's nuts. That should have been a foul.
Why?
Because he took it to the fucking nuts. And the only reason he lifted that knee up was to try to push the body off without using his hands. He wasn't driving. It was a
Derek
push.
Lively is out tonight?
No, that's not why he's out tonight. We know he's out because he got hit in the back of the head, but he got punched in the nuts before that.
Which situation you're referring to?
Oh, I think it was game 3 too. I think it was earlier, first or second quarter, maybe something like that. We'll wait for, I guess, Porter to come back on before we get into too much more.
Let's see. All right, I'm watching a replay of this. Someone posted. No, that was not intentional.
I disagree with you, but whatever. Like I say, I mean, there's questionable calls this entire. I mean, I've counted so many moving screens against both teams. It's ridiculous.
We back.
Welcome back, Mr. Porter.
Hey, sorry, my internet just completely dropped in the entire house.
Oh yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I brought up a point, and I looked down, and both of you are frozen. And then the entire call drops, and then I get a text from Maggie. Did your internet just go out? And like the TV froze, everything. I was like, mother.
Yeah. Maybe that's Encore messing with the wires down here, and they said, "Oh shit, that's Pittsburgh. Plug it back in."
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. They just plugged it back in again.
But yeah, hopefully everybody's doing all right in regards to the weather we had.
Crazy weather down in Texas. Hope everyone's doing well.
I was curious if the stadium was going to have freaking power or going to have a leak, because they've had leaks in the past when that rain's come through at the AAC.
Yeah, they have. I've heard a few people have gotten some new trampolines in their backyards.
Yeah, I saw somebody got it on their roof, or their neighbor's roof had their trampoline.
Yeah, because I think 2 years ago, it was 2 years ago
was
when
that?
the Mavs were in the Western Conference Finals where they had that rain come through the AAC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean they've had that. They've had a bat come down. I think it was, or maybe it was a bird. Something got loose inside there.
It was a bird. It was a bird that got loose. Yeah.
I think in San Antonio there was a bat.
Yeah. Although
like
I think it was San Diego. I was watching recently a clip. I don't know when it was, but some goose had like gotten onto one of the baseball fields in San Diego. I think it's probably Petco. And it was just running around, avoiding everybody. Then it took off flying. And you're like, okay, it's going to fly away. And it ran into like one of those little small scoreboards that go around the edge of the stadium. It just right into the back of head first into the scoreboard. And you just see it fall into the stage. You're like, well, I was not expecting that.
Hey, by the way, my boy Dante Exum just got a basket. There you go.
Oh, hey. He's coming off the garden.
He's making an appearance.
Yeah. Yeah, about that foul by Cat. Whatever.
Oh, that's rude.
Let's go Bear, excuse me. Oh, don't call it a comeback, Jeff. They're creeping back.
Dante.
Yep.
God, yeah. Just taking a dump on Dante Exum, and he gets like 5 straight points.
Yes, exactly.
We just needed to call him out, apparently. We should have done this last podcast.
Well, that's basically kind of what Wayne Gretzky did to Jace Robertson for the Stars last night.
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky said he needs to step it up. And what does he do? He comes out and brings up a hat trick.
Yeah.
A robo trick.
I still think they're pulling the goalie too early. I would never pull the goalie with more than 2 minutes on the clock. I know you're down pressure situation, but I would never pull them more than 2 minutes. There's just too much shite that can happen. And it happens every time. The Stars, yeah. Stars have done it. They've had it happen to the Stars already this year. But
yeah, I've always thought of, the goaltender getting pulled, a minute and a half at most. Minute and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
And seeing the goaltender getting pulled like 4 minutes left, it's like that's just a new thing here the last couple of years.
What's weird too is I didn't necessarily see this, but they called it out on the broadcast. Game 2, I believe it was, where Edmonton pulled their goaltender as well near the end of it. And probably there was confusion of them pulling the goaltender.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't quite get their lines right, and that's why they had a very easy empty net goal.
They
come back from the Stars.
What I heard on there from the broadcast was that when he came out, the rest of the Oilers on the ice didn't know that he had left the net.
Right.
So there was no protection, everything, and Lindell looked up and saw a wide open net and no one in between it, so he was able to flick it right down for the goal. But the Stars last night, I watched the first period, went down 2-0. I thought, wow.
Yeah.
It's not looking
thought that
good.
Game was over, yeah.
I did.
That's
so
second period, though.
I did the dishes. I got, my wife a drink and, turned back on the game and turned it off for a minute. It's like, well, I'll catch back up here in the second. Turned it back on 3-2. I'm like, what the heck just happened? I just turned the game off. In that 4 minute span, they were able to score those 3 goals. And it's like, there's the speed that they've been missing with Rope Hintz not at the game.
It was crazy.
I think the series is over. I think the Stars won.
Yeah, I mean, when it's in Edmonton, well, you get the home field back. The only thing you've given up the first game, so I don't know if the series is over because you just got the home field back. It's really what you've done.
They took Edmonton's best shot.
To me, the series is over. Edmonton may win one more, but I think the series is over because you saw Connor McDavid and the rest of the guys, their heads hanging low at the end of that game last night. They just, how did we give up this game? We were up 2-0, and in the span of 4 minutes, they lost the game. Now, they tied it back up, but it just never seemed like they were still in that game anymore after that. And that's the thing, and we'll talk about it more when the Mavericks game gets to halftime, but the Stars can score. Eddie Lyon can score for them. The Oilers only have certain guys that are really scoring consistently for them. But you look up and down the Stars line. I mean, Robertson hasn't done jack squat in 11 games, and he gets a hat trick in one game. I mean, you just never know who's going to be here with the Stars. Anyways, back to the Mavericks. Dante Exum causing chaos. Ian Gafford all over the place.
Now that's the one thing Powell can't do just because he's shorter is he doesn't have that disruptive block presence that Gafford and Lively do bring you.
He doesn't.
No, Powell's not even the same atmosphere as those guys.
No,
and he can't play basketball. So.
Oh, shut up. He's 6'9", but yeah.
He can play a good small forward, but he doesn't need to be playing center. But he would play small forward if he could play basketball, but he can't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Green and Ant going at each other.
I would rather have Boban than him.
You just want that so you can say Boban. Debate.
I might rather have Boban too.
Well, he fits your team more for what you need, so yeah, I can agree with that.
I love Boban. Boban's awesome. He looks like an ogre swinging his battle axe.
And the crowd looked.
Then you listen to him talk. He's like the nicest human being in the world.
Oh yeah, unless he gets your goldfish.
True.
Like, let me get a handful. That's a Boban handful.
He always wants to help people get stuff off the top rack, off the top shelf. He's really nice about that.
That too. Very nice guy.
If we'll see anything out of Jalen Hardy tonight.
Hardy hasn't played bad. He hasn't played great, but he hasn't played bad either. But it's been funny that they keep saying, on the broadcast, when he's asking for the foul, they're like,
Chris Finch, he's on the court.
You are not going to get that foul call.
No.
That Finch is down on the bench. Look at him. He said, I've had enough of you fools.
Mm-hmm.
We're going down. I'm going to be helming this ship.
He doesn't have the crutch. Oh, little teenager's mocking him, though. Gotta know he's taking that, Gafford. Whatever.
So what do we think about Boston?
You mean the losers of the NBA Finals?
The easiest road to the finals of any team that I can remember.
Yeah. I mean, once
in recent time,
yeah, once the Pacers lost their all-star point guard, like, you knew that series was going to be a sweep. Like, it just no longer had a shot. And they still took the Celtics to the last minute like the Mavs have done without one of their star players.
Yeah.
Except for one game, which is the blowout in the game they lost in.
Ooh, SWAT on Cat. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Oh, now he's got Cat on him.
Yeah. So is Gobert's new nickname French Toast?
I think so. It should be at least.
Oh.
But the Celtics, I mean, we even said before, they take games off. They haven't had any pressure. I mean, yeah, they had pressure in the Pacers series, but they still get the sweep because
I mean, you could say they had pressure in the Cleveland series from Donovan Mitchell, but Donovan Mitchell missed the last 2 games of that series too.
Yeah, with the Pacers, when they blew that game 1, the series is over. That was the Pacers' chance to get it done.
Yep.
They fucked it up. And
Or at least make it a
still-
series.
And they could have. They were right in the thick of game 3 and 4. They should have won at least one of those games.
it should be 3. It should be 3-1 right now.
Yeah.
Pacers.
Now, Brown. I
It's
mean,
what it
according
should be,
to
but-
like the announcers and everyone, the refs kind of fucked up a call against Jaylen Brown setting up a screen, and Carlisle said, "Man, they fucked us over." He got fined apparently for it too, saying small markets can't buy fouls like the big markets can.
He's not lying.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
He's not.
But yeah, there's a lot of dumb things. But it was also, I think, just young players. Like y'all said, game 1. I mean, they had that game and they dribbled it out of bounds twice off themselves. The Pacers did.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
completely.
They didn't know
were
what
like
to do. They were like a
they're
dog
like a
chasing
puppy
a
that
guard
wet
for
the
the
bed,
first
dude.
time. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, at the end of the game, it's like a puppy wet in the bed. They just didn't know what to do with themselves. They're just so excited, just spinning around in circles and wetting themselves.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
I mean, they're a young team. So, I mean, they could
They're a young
easily
team.
very
They-
well be back in this playoffs and in this mix again.
They absolutely could, but they need another star player. Halliburton is good. He's very good, but he is not a star. They need a star, is what they need.
You need at least an all-star, arguably. Who the heck's barking?
What?
Well, I think
Sorry,
that's
I
what
heard barking in
Beans
my
was saying.
audio, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, I hear it
Oh.
too.
Working?
I mean, I know the
Oh.
Timberwolves like to do that to hype themselves up some, but I was like, we just barking in huddles now and loose balls?
I guess so.
I don't know, Jeff. Tell us. We're missing our
We're in-
threes
we're
now.
in Dallas.
That's a heat check, and lucky he made that one. We're back to game 1 where we can't hit a freaking 3, but we're still in it.
Well, that's
Not
see.
bad.
This is a point that I heard earlier today, is that in that Nuggets series with Minnesota, they never had to
What are
battle.
you
It
mad
was-
about, Luca?
when it came to the fourth quarter, the game was already decided. Either
Yeah.
Minnesota was up by 30 or Denver was up by 17. It was
And I
one of
mean,
the
they're winning too, just with their star
Well,
players.
game
They're not
7
really putting it in. It's Brown and Tatum. If you take one of those guys away, kind of like the Mavs have done here with Ant and Cat being the two
I was talking
driving
about that. I was talking about
forces.
Minnesota and Denver and how this series, how the Mavericks have stayed close and have been able to pull it out at the end is just by
Yeah.
staying close. Even when they haven't been shooting well, they've kept the game close. And keeping the game close is something Minnesota hasn't really had to deal with this entire playoff run. It's been blowouts.
They did game 7.
They've had
They did
blowouts,
against
some.
game 7 against Denver. That was close. They had to
Yeah,
come back.
that was a comeback. Yeah, that was a big comeback.
It was a
23
comeback.
points.
It was a comeback.
But
But other than that, I mean, they won by 45 the game before that.
right, I mean, every other game, you're right. I mean, Minnesota, and it was the same by and large in the Phoenix series too. I mean, they didn't really have any close games, but other than game 7.
They're the reason the Suns are imploding.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Oh, I know. Oh, it's over the back by Luca.
But
But-
the Suns.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, wow. Not even be able to hit a shot.
Nope. Oh goodness. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the Nuggets would be a better matchup for the Mavs as far as matchup potential goes. Surprisingly.
That would be
But-
that would have been an interesting series to see them go against Denver. I really think that
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
if
mean,
we're
Luca's doing this on one leg. So I mean, I'm hoping for the sweep so we can get some rest.
Well, yes, I'm hoping for that as well too, because I want Luca to get as much rest as possible. But
Yes, agreed.
But I mean, this
Or as
is
Chuck says, he should be resting this game, so the Mavs can go ahead and get their sweep without Luka.
yeah. Well, he said
the
they could still beat him
playoffs.
without it. And maybe if Lively was in the game, you might have been able to, but without Lively, there was no chance. And to my point, if you've got to finish again, if you got to finish the series, your best player, if he can play, needs to be out there because he's going to get a long rest. If they win today, it's a long rest no matter what. So it's just finish the job, finish the series. But for Minnesota, there's a lot they can take from this. There's a lot that they can learn from this. Now, I don't know if Conley will still be with the team next year, just because I don't know how much longer he has in the league. But this is a learning experience. And this is the thing is that I thought they came out a little too cocky into this series when Cat and Edwards were asked the question of, do you think, you guys are still the younger team? And, and they're like, well, how many times do we got to lose? How many times do we got to lose? Well, obviously you need to lose a few more times to learn how to win and to how to condition your body to be able to withstand a long extended playoff run.
Yeah.
Because even if even though the Mavericks represent nothing, things could, these all were close games. These were small things that happened. Like there were a few deep, if the Mavericks wouldn't have got the defensive stop in game 2 before Luka had the chance to shoot that three, there wouldn't have been. There would have been a 4-point lead if they would have made the basket, and Dallas had made the defensive stop. They would have scored a layup. It'd been a 4 that, we'd be talking a completely different story at this time. So things had to fall the right way, and things had to be done defensively to help make things happen the way they did. But they obviously needed to learn how to win still, just like Oklahoma City did. I mean, Cat's been in the league for a while, but this is his longest run in the playoffs. Edwards is still young in the league, but it's the longest he's been. And this is something you can take from it is we need to condition ourselves better. We need to be prepared to be able to play for an extended 7-game series for a long extended playoff run. We need to be able to hit our shots when it's needed to and not let the moment get too big for us like it seems to have been for Cat.
Maybe. So don't forget, Luka's only 25.
I know he's only 25. Trust me, I get that.
God bless it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing is when it comes down to it is, to me, they just came out a little too conceited of, oh, yeah, we're going to come in here and wax them. We just beat Denver. It's like they were already looking past Dallas to get to Boston.
I don't know if they were looking past them. It was just
they looked completely past them.
No, they were in the moment. They were in the moment. And
that's 2 for Jones.
Now the whole thing that Charles made that, Edwards called out Kyrie. That was not calling out Kyrie. I listened to that whole thing of where he said, "Hey, I'm going to get Kyrie." That showed respect to me. That was completely blown out of proportion. And Charles Barkley brought that out of proportion.
But I mean,
young guy, you got to watch.
Kyrie still used it as motivation. So I mean, like a good player should, but
at this
it wasn't
point,
necessarily just calling him out
everywhere. You got to take motivation from wherever you get it. But
I mean, Kobe used to make shit up like MJ did. It's like, you called my mom a motherfucker? Okay. It's like, what are you talking about, MJ? We haven't talked in a month.
Yes, and Kyrie did take it personally, but yeah, he didn't say anything disrespectful. He was like, I want to guard him. And apparently before this game, he said that he wanted to guard Luka. Now I get it, but is Anthony Edwards, because of how he does go 100-0, he goes 100% no matter which side of the ball he's on. Is that one of the reasons why he's burning himself out later in the game?
Well, like I said, he had to play for 2 people when Cat was down, trying to keep that number 1 seed up at the end of the season.
Well, I just think that they've made this, in this national narrative, they've just completely made this to be such a bigger deal than it actually is.
Well, they've got to have some kind of rivalry. They got to build up a rivalry is what they've got to do.
They try to build up a rivalry with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't help that with 3:35 left in the second, you have Rudy and Edwards both with 3 fouls, and Cat with 2 fouls.
Mm-hmm.
Here, with just a few minutes left here in the first half. You do not need your guys in foul trouble.
No, but that's been one of the things too. Minnesota's been in foul trouble. And like I was talking to Jeff earlier, some of these fouls, I don't see the fouls, and it goes both ways.
And Dallas just took the lead at 44-42 with a 10-0 run in the last 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And another missed shot there by Minnesota.
Jeez.
And another foul coming down. Dallas attacking the basket left and right. And Jones will take that in.
Although I do want to know who Luka keeps jawing with on the Minnesota bench.
Oh, just the entire
when he
bench.
maybe. I mean, hopefully it's all in good natured fun, but it's just kind of like he looks over after making a 3 against Gobert, just looks at the bench and goes and says something. Maybe it's Slovenian, I don't know.
Well, as we were saying, you know what Edwards.
But he seems to have a joking nature with Ant, at least for the most part.
Lucas says worse than that to the bench, like during warmups. Like Luka is talking trash. He's backing it up though, but he talks trash to everyone out there. And just in game 2 of you can't effing guard.
That's one of the reasons again why he compares to Larry Bird. Or like I sent that thing to Jeff. I was like, I didn't know he said that in one of the post games. Where Luka was talking about, Ant compared himself to MJ. Luka said, well, I must have some of Larry Bird's redneck DNA in me. Because Matt or MJ never beat Bird, right? He's like, I got my Black Robin here with me. Kyrie Irving sitting next to it.
I think that was AI. I think that was AI because some of the other stuff I've seen, like there's the one with Anthony Edwards coming out saying that he's got Goofy Gobert with him and, you know, all this. And it's just like him kind of leaning over, but the mouse kind of moving weird. It looked like AI. It didn't look real. And that one didn't look real either.
Yeah. This would just look like it was at a post-game conference.
It did. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm pretty sure that was an AI. Pretty sure it was an AI. Yeah.
Still funny as shit though. If it was.
That wasn't real.
Kevin Costner
tied at 45. But regardless, this has been a very good series. This has been a very evenly matched series. Even though the record right now doesn't show that. It shows it being completely dominated. But it's not like it's been any blowouts this entire time. These games have been close. They've gone down to the end. They've been exciting. They've been worthy of watching. It's been very, very good basketball here in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I mean, once
again, that's the Western Conference.
Right.
There's a reason why the majority of the best players are in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
I just wonder, assuming what happens tonight, when game 1 will start.
Game 1 starts the Thursday after this coming Thursday. So if the Mavericks end up winning today, there will be 9 days without basketball till the finals start.
Yep. Yeah, I see it.
That'd be good for Luka if it is. Yeah.
Which is needed. Luka needs it. Derek Lively needs it.
It's needed for Luka, yeah.
And I mean, you can't even use the rest versus rust on this whenever the Celtics are getting just as much rest, and it's looking like Kristaps Porzingis will be back for the finals.
Right.
Which Boston needs. They need that hype because other than that, you're trotting Al Horford's old ass out there like Weekend to Bernie style trying to guard Lively and Gafford, and that's going to be a recipe for disaster. That's the thing. Seeing, you know, with what we've said about the Celtics, I don't know how well they're going to match up with the Mavericks in that aspect of that, you know, that down low game. I mean, they're going to have to try to keep it small ball, but it's at one point, you know,
I'm not
The
counting
Clippers couldn't stop it. The Thunder couldn't stop it, and the Timberwolves couldn't stop it. And all those teams had more height than Boston. That alley-oop pass down low to Lively and Gafford. So
until the media starts building the Boston Celtics up again.
Well, they always do. They're always going to build them up
yeah.
because it's that storied franchise.
Mm-hmm. And that's it's Tatum's time is all.
That's also the matchup that the NBA
They're
wanted.
A different team. They're a different team, Porter. Don't you know?
Oh, they're a different team than they were a couple years ago when they got their asses waxed in the playoffs.
Well, I mean last year, but yeah.
Last year, no, it was the year before. Well, they got waxed last year by the Heat, but the year before that, when they went to the finals and they got waxed.
Well, this is their second year to the finals, so.
No, last year they got beat Miami. Miami was in the finals last year, sir.
Yeah, against the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
I know that year went by fast.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, you're good.
A little gnat flying around here.
There's no excuse for you.
I know. Sorry, I'll take a lap, Coach. I'll be back.
2:40 left in the second. Foul trouble for the T-Wolves. Gobert, Towns, Edwards, all with 3 fouls, and McDaniels with 2. And McDaniels really has not been the defensive presence that they hoped would be against Luka in this series.
No,
that's the thing is that he's not thick enough. He's not as big like Lou Dort was. Lou Dort was strong, so when Luka pushed into him, he didn't go anywhere. Luka's able to
Dort was also just a wrecking ball and try to crash into everybody and hurt everybody.
That's very true. That's very true. But you've got to have somebody big and strong to muscle up with Luka. Otherwise, Luka's going to just
that's why Luka's a matchup nightmare because he's 6'7", 230 pounds. I mean, it's like you got to have length and you got to have size. Oh, but you got to move your feet.
Yeah.
Well, McDaniels doesn't even weigh 200 pounds.
Oh yeah,
so he's
180. He's 180 pounds, so he just get
that's he's got length and so he'll be pushed down like he is now.
I think that's maybe why Edwards wanted to guard him tonight, see if maybe he could put some pressure on him, but he's in foul trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, offensive rebound. And that's the thing. The offensive rebounds, the Mavericks have just been controlling. Game in and game out.
Yeah, which 2 7-footers, that shouldn't happen.
No, it should not happen. All right, so how do you guys feel about Kyrie Irving's shoes?
Shoes?
Everyone's seen them. Have you seen his sneakers?
Oh, the moccasins?
Yes, people says he was rocking the John Redcorns.
I mean, as long as he doesn't turn an ankle, I'm fine with whatever the heck he wants to wear.
As long as like those strings or whatever don't get, and he doesn't step on them by mistake. They're not too long.
No, they're not too long, but I mean, it's just. I mean, hey, haven't seen any shoes like that before in the NBA.
Nope, that's a first.
Fridge, I should call it.
How are you questioning that?
That looks scary by Conley.
Yeah. Great save on the pivot foot. Yeah, that's a foul on Jones for sure. I don't understand why Jones is freaking out.
Nope, that was definitely a foul. There's no arguing that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they can boo all they want, but that's a foul.
That's a foul. That's a foul. You can be a homer and still admit when a foul is a foul. I mean, that's.
I know. And I'd still boo the rest, even if I knew it was a foul. Because I feel like that helps you get another call the other way, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, but.
Now, one benefit of tonight's game, we do not have a Tony Brothers.
Mike Conley, 13, 3 and 3. Oh, yes, that's good. I was so upset when he was cussed last game.
Tony Brothers, like, he's one of those officials
can't make the shot, though.
Come in and say, Hey, I'm the referee. I'm the referee, and you all will respect that I'm the referee. It's like,
Right. It's kind of like
come
Angel
on.
Hernandez trying to throw his weight around like I'm the umpire. It's like, so
Mhm.
what? You suck.
All
Which
right.
I want
Angel
Max Scherzer's
Hernandez.
electronic scoring method for umpires.
Well, that's the thing is the umpires union is so strong. Unless you
Oh,
do
I
something
know.
illegal or you punch a manager, you're not losing your job.
Yeah, until you
You
retire.
could probably get away with punching a manager too.
You probably
You
could,
have to
yeah.
like get away with
Opinion.
murder, basically.
Yeah. You'd have to do it, Hernandez, I guess.
But Angel Hernandez, for anyone who's living under rock and hasn't heard, is finally retiring from baseball.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the story the Major League Baseball wants us to go with is that he's retiring, but he hasn't been on a cruise since like May 3rd.
Well, besides, well, that's because he knew he was getting bad. The other news out of baseball, unfortunately, is Acuna going down with a torn ACL for the Braves. News just gets worse.
With halftime coming up, we'll talk more about that. There's 10 seconds left here in the second, tied 49-49. And wow. You know, Charles Barkley's ready to start his barking up.
That's why we love it.
Yep, and we've only got one more year inside the NBA before it's killed off for good.
Yep. We'll have a new show, though. Supposedly, Barkley's going to bring it under his production umbrella, and that will save
I
it.
heard that talk that he was going to bring it all under his production umbrella.
Yeah.
Hire everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're at halftime, tied 49-49. We're gonna have another hell of a game.
Yeah.
Another hell of a game tonight.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
And really a dead even game too so far. I think the Mavs.
The foul trouble's the difference, I think, right now for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Although the Mavs have been picking up a couple here at the end.
And the Mavs, I mean, Kyrie really hasn't had the best game so far either. So
well, Kyrie and Luke have both been off. They've each hit some shots, but they've been just off as far as today's gone. What's huge and what the Mavericks really needed for this game was for Gafford to not get in foul trouble early like he has been this entire series. And for him to not rack up 3-4 fouls already in this game is what they really, really needed, considering they did get Max Kleba back. He is playing, but to not have Lively to come in as that change of pace at center position, they needed Gafford to play smart. They need to play strong, but play smart. And so far, he's done that here through the first half.
That's very true. Good, sir. Very true.
Also,
as you were saying, with the Braves losing Ronald Acuna, what a loss. After they lost Strider earlier in the season for the year.
Yeah, it just gets worse and worse for the Braves.
Which I don't feel too bad for them. I mean, you're the best team. I mean, there's a reason we've been the best team, but I mean,
well, the Phillies are arguably the best team in the East right now.
Well, true, they are because they have the best starting, 40 game or whatever it was. I mean, as they swept the Rangers, they actually had through that time the most wins ever in baseball history up to that point with like 37 wins, and it was the Rangers hitting that point where the injury bug has finally, they weathered the storm for so long and finally they couldn't weather it anymore. It was just a complete waxing, and it was what happened. Those guys that were most of the guys out on the field for the Rangers right now never should even be in the majors right now, but they're having to be there because of injuries.
You mean for the Rangers, or we changing teams here?
Talking about the Rangers, yeah. Rangers.
Well, we jumped. Sorry, I was just double checking. Yeah. I want to make sure I'm on the same team. I had to get my iPad so I can. Gotcha. I'm getting older. I need a bigger screen to see some of these statistics.
Well, I was just talking about how with the Rangers getting swept by the Phillies, and the Phillies did so well, but the Rangers, they've got guys on the field that shouldn't even be in the majors right now, but they have to be because of so many injuries. And everyone knew as a Ranger fan that this title defense was going to be rough because now you have that target on your back by every team. Every team's going to be coming out and gunning for you. But when you have it's been every week. There's been a different injury. There's just been a different injury left and right, and compound that with Wyatt Langford just struggling and needing some more time, to help figure things out. It's just it's been a rough.
Yeah. Hold on, Jeff. What are you saying? You kind of broke up there for a bit.
What were you saying?
I was just going to say that Evan Carter now, he gets on the injured list, and then, but the thing is, he just hasn't been. Regardless, Evan Carter's not been playing.
I haven't seen the patience from him either this year, which is what's driving me nuts. It's like his eyes a little off now or something.
I think what it was with Evan Carter is
maybe he's pressing.
Now that teams have actually some tape on him,
right?
And they figured him out, and he needs.
You had 60 games in the playoffs to get tape on him.
True, but they still didn't have enough on him at that point, and it was unworldly what he did to come up and do what he did at that point. But maybe he needs some time down. Maybe he needs some time to help figure things out. He's still just 21 years old. I mean,
right.
He's got so many years ahead of him. I mean, he's nowhere near what his prime should be. So, I mean, it's a problem if he needs to go figure some things out, because they've got people, the more bats you have, the more time they have, the more tape they have on you, the more they're going to figure out your trends. And that's where you've got to start making changes as a batter and start figuring out ways to get past that.
I don't think people realize how ridiculous what Evan Carter did last year in the playoffs. That's doing that at 20 years old, coming up from AAA, who would not have come up if it weren't for injuries, and then became a major part of that World Series team. And
it's unheard of how that happened.
Yeah, you thought the season was over almost after Adolis Garcia went down near the end of last year for the Rangers.
Yep, it did. It seemed like the end of the world right there, but
yeah. Well, speaking of end of the world, I'm going to bring up a little sad news before we move on. Bill Walton, unfortunately, has passed away from cancer at 71. So sad day for basketball world there.
That's yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And what a life that guy led. Wow.
Something crazy, but yeah.
He came in and played drums with the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
basketball games, coach for a bit, I think too.
All he ever really wanted to do was play basketball and smoke weed. That was it. That's all he wanted to do. He didn't want to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Then he came into the media, and they were actually on the radio playing like some of his baseball, baseball play-by-play. Amazing. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, Bill Walton was. He was a gem. He was fun to listen to. He really, really was. It was almost like the basketball version of John Madden.
Yeah.
Right. And then people forget.
Hopefully, we'll get Dickie V back for next year's college game. But the pairing of those two, unfortunately, will not be back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also too, Walton was one of the best college players of all time. People,
part of John Wooden's run, 9 straight titles back in the 70s for UCLA.
And I haven't seen it. I plan on watching it here soon, but I've been
30 for 30 about him.
30 for 30 about Bill Walton, and
to me they went over too much of just his ungrateful and some of the odysseys of him. He had a few interesting quirks. Don't get me wrong; they didn't go over the career enough and bring out the highlights and emphasize, like Jeff said, just how great of a college player he was. They just kind of mentioned it and they said, "Oh, and he played drums with the Grateful Dead." And I was like, why are we moving so quickly off of this? But I wasn't necessarily a fan of his documentary.
Because they're not appealing to they appeal to the average everyday sports fan, not the people who want to hear about the actual stats and everything that goes along with that. It's the people who want to hear the stories along with it,
You got an hour and a half, though. You can appease both. If not, you're doing a bad documentary.
You should be able to appease both. I agree with you. Really, you need to be able to hit the husband who's wanting to watch it, and then the wife who's also on the phone to give her something. Oh, well, that's interesting.
Right.
You got to do both.
No wonder you wore the pot shirt all the time.
I need to watch that 30 for 30. I forgot that they made that until
I did too, and I need to watch as well. I'm putting it on my list of things I need to watch here soon. But yeah, there's that thing, and then also condolences to the people due to the storms there in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They had I've heard conflicting reports of there have been loss of life here with the tornadoes that have come through.
Yeah, I haven't heard of any loss of life yet on our local news stations, but
Well, not for
95 was the
today,
peak straight
but-
line winds. There was a tornado confirmed in my hometown of Canton, Texas. Luckily,
I
I
was
didn't get
talking
any of
more
my
over the
family or
weekend.
buddy, but
There were like 7 to 10 people who died over the
7
weekend.
Oh,
people
yeah,
in
those
Valley
storms, yeah.
died on Saturday night.
yeah, those came out of nowhere too. Which
And
a
what's
lot of
crazy
these
is
storms
that-
have lately. I mean, the one in Valley View, that tornado that just destroyed that gas station, unfortunately, and
That's
took
what I
several
said.
people.
Yeah, they killed 7.
Just
that-
yeah, like I said, I mean, it just comes out of nowhere though. This year, it seems like usually it seems like we see the storm building, but this
And
year they just
Saturday-
seem to blow up.
We had a confirmed tornado here in the Pittsburgh area.
Oh.
shit.
That's
Yeah,
rare.
we did. It was a category 0 with a max wind speed of 75 miles per hour, but it was still
Right.
a tornado that they had. And
Yeah.
it was the end of the world in the Pittsburgh metro. You know where it hit was in the middle of some hills. So there weren't really anybody in there.
That's
no
good
loss
at
of
least.
life, but that was the good thing about it. But I was sitting there looking around at my in-laws and my wife's family who were in town, going, "Y'all don't know nothing about naders."
Right. It's like, don't worry about it. An E0's fine. It's just gonna shake the house if it comes by.
We used to get drunk. We used to get drunk, jump in the truck, and go out and chase them. And then we find and that was before that we had the phones to figure out where the radar was and realize we were going in the wrong direction. You know?
Yeah, we had winds like go up to like 165 miles an hour on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lots of damage. Lots of damage.
there.
And then we got
goodness.
flooding and more storms are potentially coming in tonight. About 9 o'clock-ish, I think, give or take.
Unfortunately, it's that time of year of spring
It
storms.
is. It is.
Hit hard.
Like the news channels tell you, make sure your insurance is good around the February timeframe because you might need it in spring for your house and your car.
Absolutely. Yep. I
Make sure
collected
you're
on
up
that
to
car
date.
insurance. I remember there was back when I was back down in Texas, it was right when Maggie and I, right before we moved out to Princeton, and I had been the pickup truck I had at the time. I had a radiator leak, so I was changing out the radiator. There was not supposed to be any storms, so I just dropped the radiator, and right as I did, a freak storm came through, just a little small circle cloud that came right over Richardson with what was it, quarter size hail.
Oh, nice.
Came through and it was started pelting me, and I ran over and had to sit in the garage and just watch my truck just get completely pelted because there was nothing I could do because I had already dropped the radiator.
Right.
I remember that.
So get out
So
there and
after-
push.
Yes, after it got done, it only happened for maybe 10 minutes tops.
Right.
But I come back out,
Probably a
the whole
busted window
thing
or something. But yeah.
peppered completely. It didn't break a window, but it just peppered the whole thing. And I got the radiator back in, but I went and got it, got the insurance check for it, and that insurance check actually got us the down payment for the house we had in Princeton. So
There you go.
I mean, there wasn't enough damage. Like it really it was like, okay, I can barely see it. You know, the majority of it was on the top of the truck, and so I was like, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna do anything about it. Whatever, I'll just
Right.
pass it up.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But yeah, they get pea-sized hail up here, and people up here freak out about it. We got hail. It's like until you've seen it coming down softball size, and it looks like a war zone out in people's yards, out in their pools.
Yeah.
But down in Texas, it's a completely different situation.
Uh,
No,
That guy does look a little like Daddy. I think you'll see it a bit, Porter.
What was it?
Oh, they just did a segment on Inside the NBA of this little girl. Every time she sees Shaq on like any product or a newspaper, she goes, "Daddy," and then it shows the daddy. I'm like, I can see why she says that's her dad.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and then they showed the Shaquille O'Neal pregnancy test, 90% accurate.
2 free Shaq stickers.
Oh, there you go. It's like you're having a baby. Congrats. Take a Shaq sticker. Oh man. Well, I guess we still got halftime. How about the Rangers and Panthers and how that series is going?
Crazy.
I was kind of
series.
expecting Panthers to be up 2-1 right now, but
The Panthers
to be up 2-1.
Should be up 2-1 after the last game, back on Sunday. They dominated that entire game and let it go there in overtime. The Panthers should have won that game, but the thing is, it's going to come down to is that the Rangers are just better, and it's what it needs to come down to the Stanley Cup is the two best teams going against each other, which are the New York Rangers and the Dallas Stars, and that's what I think everyone is going to want to see. Is the two best teams.
I mean,
I would love to beat New York.
You'd love to beat New York. So you're saying you're not afraid of them, is what you're understanding, huh?
That's what the NHL wants. The NHL wants it to be Dallas.
Yeah, because New York's a bigger market than the Florida Panthers. Of course, they want the
Dallas
New York
is a bigger market than Edmonton. They want the most eyes, and to have the New York Rangers in the Stanley Cup would be huge.
Well, is that
now for them to win, it would be even better. They want them to win because they want New York and to win. That's good and everything. But bring them on. Stars, Rangers. I think that's going to be some must-watch hockey. Yes. That's going to be a great match because it'll be the two best teams going up against each other, and it's going to be fantastic.
True. I mean, number one in the West, and number one in the East. New York's got one more point, but they had a worse record than the Stars did.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
and the Stars are the best road team in the playoffs. They're 6 more on the road.
They're the best road team in the NHL this year.
Yes.
Overall, not just playoffs.
I don't know what it is.
They're proving it's still in the playoffs.
I don't know why Otter just hates playing at home and just loves it on the road. I don't know why. Maybe he just.
Well, I would understand why he hates game one. It's not hating playing at home. It's hating game one. Somehow he just doesn't show up in any game one.
If they make it to the Stanley Cup, which I believe that they will, and they play the Rangers, which I believe that they will, the Rangers will be at Madison Square Garden for game one. So there's where it is. Are you going to win because you're away, or are you going to lose because it's game one? Then we should have a good litmus test for this theory, because every game one they have lost, and it's been at home.
Very true. Very true.
So that's what I'm intrigued to see.
What if the Panthers do find a way out of this? They're leading obviously right now 2-1 at the end of the second, going into the third. So I mean, if they do somehow win this, the Florida Panthers, like I don't think they can. Y'all got any thoughts on them, comparatively speaking, against Dallas? I mean, I think you probably still both got Dallas, but to me, the Panthers are more like the Edmonds and Colorados, where New York's a little more finesse, and that might give Dallas Stars a new look and a new test in these playoffs. I don't think they're going to bully as much as, say, the Panthers would if they come out.
Yeah, Florida's very similar to Edmonton. I see that being a very same kind of series, just like you had with Colorado. And the finesse doesn't worry me because the Rangers are not very good on 5-on-5. They're really good on the power play. But when it comes to regular strength play, they're not that good. They are not that good. And they're not as deep still as Dallas. Dallas has the deepest
team. Is the deepest team. You're very true there, especially with Hintz back.
Every line can score, and every line can take advantage of you at any point. So
right.
And we're now back off of halftime. 51-51. Already started early. Gafford scored to give the Mavericks early lead, but we're going to have a knockdown drag out here, but I'll let you guys continue as it's time for a little refill here at the Porterhouse.
Fair enough. That's why we got the big cup. Oh, goodness. Oh, we got the lead, Jeff. Jeff, are you there? I think you're just mean mugging me, Jeff. Jeff froze. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Jeff, if you can hear me, I think you're froze. Do. Man. There you go, Luca. 19-9-4. Oh, Ant, you got to take that shot. Got lucky on the 3, but that's Ant's shot. All right, what we got going on here? Luca dribble and attack and layup. Woo! The effort's looking better today than he did yesterday. Hey, you're got in and out, Porter, but nope, there you are. Yeah, just been frozen, so I've just been talking to myself for a bit here.
No, sometimes you just need to talk to yourself. It's when you answer yourself that's when the problems start.
Oh, dang it, my bad.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, Gafford's got a couple.
Loose.
Right. Gafford's got a couple nice dunks. He's looked better than he has last game. He's got 6 points this quarter. Gafford does.
I mean, we've all.
And Ant's passed up a shot. He got lucky on a 3, but that's the whole thing we've been saying this whole series is Ant's passing up these shots.
And once again, another Maverick player gets hit in the junk.
Yeah.
That's time of the ball. Like, what is it? Come on. Well, it's a good thing we're keeping it kind of loose since you're the only one who hasn't had internet issues here this evening.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Okay.
I guess so maybe they're resetting Jeff's with some of the other power outages they've got going on in the area.
And that's
apparently the count got up to 700,000 customers without power in the DFW area today.
That is crazy. And now there's controversy here with Rudy.
Yeah. I like how Luca's like, let me get in there. Let me get in there. I'll take him.
Oh, Rudy just slapping around Donald Jones Jr. and then goes up and gets up into his face. Wow.
Yeah.
That's frustration on Gobert. That's just frustration.
For sure.
And that's the thing is he did this when the Mavericks knocked out Utah 2 years ago. He did the same thing. It's Yes, he's been defensive player of the year 4 times, but he just cannot.
What are they chanting against Gobert there?
I think they're saying you suck.
Oh, there's a technical foul.
The thing with Gobert is he cannot. He's got to get control of his emotions. He cannot continually. I mean, I can understand getting frustrated. You can get frustrated.
Gobert tries to run through that screen.
Yeah.
Hey, you back, Jeff?
Yeah, I think I know y'all are wrapping up talking about the Panthers, but I think they'd be really tough too for Dallas. I mean, it's not going to be easy regardless of Florida or New York. I would just rather see New York because I want to. I feel like New York is slightly the better team, and I want them to knock down a New York team in an original 16.
Yep. Fair enough. Now we're on the review from Gobert and the technical foul that's probably going to be assessed to at least Gobert, maybe Jones too.
Could be. But Gobert, what I was just saying before you got back on is that, I mean, yes, he's got 4 defensive player of the years, but when it comes down, like my big knock on Rudy has always been that when things aren't going the way that he wants them to, he loses his composure so quickly. Like different shots, different stuff that he's done, like hitting Luka and everything. He did the same thing when Dallas beat Utah 2 years ago in the playoffs. He just loses his too quickly, and instead of being smart, okay.
What is Finch so mad about?
Instead of being smart, I mean, it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to get upset when things aren't going the way you need them to go. But he consistently keeps lashing out in different ways that it's just.
Well, that's why I call him French toast. Like he's done.
Looks like a dirty player.
Over.
Well, when Gobert has like a bad game, it's like a historically bad game. It happened when Jokic destroyed.
That's because he doesn't have the ability to do offense.
Well, Jokic destroyed Gobert in Game 5.
Well, that's fine. I mean, we all know he has no offensive game. We know that. But to be the defensive player of the year and then get completely exposed multiple times in the playoffs, every single time he's in the playoffs.
But he's also usually not guarding a guard or a shooting forward.
Well, Joker's
much less of Luka's caliber.
Joker's still. That's a guy he should be able to guard, and he still can't do it.
Defensive player of the year should be able to contain Jokic.
I mean, you're not going to completely stop him, but he shouldn't be going for a triple-double on you. That's the thing. You should be able to at least make it difficult for him.
Yep. Charge.
And then, again, I really don't blame Gobert for the Luka thing. That was scheme on that.
They never should have let that matchup happen.
Right, exactly.
That's a 4th foul on Towns now too.
Yep.
Ooh, Irving.
Well, he's been absent this entire series, so it's just like, what else is fucking?
I'm a few seconds behind you there. So.
Maybe I can remind mine. We can get back on time a little
bit. And this is the first time that I can remember so far in the series, at this point in the game, that Minnesota is leading the turnovers. They have 11 turnovers to Dallas's 9. Dallas has usually been turning over the ball a lot through the first 3 quarters.
Very true. Very true. Seems like the kid's using a switch out of Kleber, Powell, and Gafford at his center right now.
As he should. Bigs. As he should. As Dwight Powell can play basketball. We've already established this. And Kleber his shot has been off, but at least his defense has been very, very good up to the point of where he got injured earlier in May.
He had his shot going though whenever he was injured.
Sometimes. Sometimes he was. He was the game before he got injured. Yes, he did shoot lights out, but before that, he didn't hit anything for at least 10 games. It had been a while before he had been.
Easy there, Mr. Exaggeration.
I'm not exaggerating. Go back and look at the stats. Come on, Kleber.
There.
Yeah. See, we don't have I haven't seen the sighting of Patrick Mahomes and
Kelsey.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, do you know what's I lost my train of thought actually on that one. I'll think about it again. Sorry. I was going somewhere and completely forgot where the bus was traveling.
That's all right. I'm sure you'll catch back on here at the next stop.
Yeah. Something will remind me about what I'm talking about.
They're gonna call that travel?
God bless you.
It's not travel.
Apparently not, Jeff. I didn't see a travel either.
I didn't see a travel either. I didn't. I saw him still stay on that foot.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm, living you guys to the future because my broadcast on YouTube TV is just a few seconds. I just whenever I hear you
I
guys
try to remind mine a little bit to try to match yours, but
which is good because
are
it's
you
like
talking about ants travel, Jeff, or?
Yeah.
Okay, you're calling that a travel. You said. I thought you were talking about Derek Jones's move.
No, I can hear you guys say something that I can then start keying in on it and seeing who has the ball and going, oh, I can actually analyze this than just seeing it in real time. I'm enjoying this. I'm actually like, all right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I feel like Biff in Back to the Future too.
Knowing how to place the bets.
Butthead. Shoot like a tree and get the fuck out of here.
Make like a damn tree and leave. You sound like a damn fool when you say that.
Well, Biff was. Mm-hmm.
Old Biff, a distant relative.
Of years?
No, that's who young Biff thought it was. It was just an old relative of his.
Oh.
55. You know,
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Which going off on a little side tangent here. This is not sports related, but my oldest Wyatt. He's now watched all the Star Wars movies. Got obsessed with those, so he's into that. There's daily lightsaber battles at my house. I have to tell them that the lightsabers are now outside toys because we almost knocked over a couple of Daddy's liquor bottles. So.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, not good.
Right.
But in talking with Maggie because we have to leave for Jersey next weekend, and when we get back, there's a classic that I need to have the boys watch.
What's that one?
The Goonies.
I haven't seen that one in a minute.
It's been a long time since I've seen
it's on
The
Memorial
Goonies.
Day weekend, I think.
It is, but that is a movie that I need my 5 and 3-year-old to see because the thing I just want to see is my 3-year-old running around and going, "Hey, you guys!" That's what I'm going for next for the rest of the summer is to have them watch the Goonies and see Sloth. I did get the young one addicted to, or not addicted, but at least I got him to enjoy Shrek tonight. All-time classic. One of my favorite animated movies of all time.
Agreed. That's one enjoyable for the parent and the children usually.
Oh, I'll watch Shrek anytime. Love that movie. Absolutely love it. It's freaking.
I agree with you. I'd watch it.
Yeah, the whole interrogation with the gingerbread man.
Yeah.
The Muffin Man. The Muffin Man. I'm dying just thinking about it right now. Oh, my gumdrop buttons.
Like what the? And then the like game show contestants where they're picking the bride to be number 2, my lord, number 2. He's holding up 3 fingers. Are the guards holding up 3 fingers? Like number 2.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm looking something up. Ooh. Hold down.
Hmm.
Oh, number 5 on Towns. Yep, you leaned in and got him in the head.
What?
That's just dumb. That is
Drive
a
on Towns.
dumb
5 minutes
foul,
left in the
Towns.
third. That was.
Oh my gosh, what a dumb foul.
Again, he
Oh,
hasn't.
that's dumb. Dumb.
What a dumb foul. Oh my
And see,
gosh.
Cat, that's the
And he looks
reason why.
confused.
That is the reason why you're down 3-0, is because your second best player is playing dumb. He's played dumb this entire series, like completely. He's acting like a
Oh, they're
cow.
checking to see if it's flagrant, which it's not
idea.
flagrant, but
No, it's not flagrant, but that's just dumb.
that is just a dumb move. Goodness gracious. And then, yeah, and the weird thing is he's just so confused. Like, how is that a foul on me? Like, I'm trying to go up. I'm like, you're leaning into the other guy with your arm and shoulder.
Yeah.
And take an elbow to the guy's head.
Now, that's the thing, is that if you get him in the air, then you jump into him, then you'll get the foul. But you can't just lean in first before they've even jumped. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's even in the rule book now. If the offensive player initiates the contact, although a lot of times that's still not called properly, in my opinion, because there's a lot of times the offensive player just jumps into the other guy. And I'm just like, what the hell are we calling? Ugh.
Now, as they're figuring this whole situation out here, which it's not a flagrant foul, it should not be a flagrant foul. Wanted to talk about Grayson Murray there in the PGA Tour there at the Colonial here.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Another loss. Suicide, right?
The family confirmed it was suicide, and that he's had problems with this throughout his entire
and drinking,
life.
and that's one of the reasons supposedly he thought he was invincible, as he mentioned before in interviews. He would drink. He drank during his first win too, and was drunk during that tournament. But then he came back and won another one sober here pretty recently. I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately.
He says he had said he'd been sober for 8 months, but said that what was worse for him was winning as early as he did.
They called that a flagrant 1 foul.
Wow. And Chris Finch just got a technical foul. But one reason I wanted to talk about Murray is because I heard this today as well, which something I didn't know, is that Stan Van Gundy, who's been broadcasting all these games on TNT, his wife a year ago committed suicide.
Exactly.
He married for 40 years.
The other day.
It came on Dan Le Batard. Yep. And you never know. I mean, it's not. You never know. You just never really know how things are going, and you could be on the PGA Tour, engaged, and end up doing that, and it's a sad thing. If you're feeling that way, ask for help. Please do.
Yes. Talk to somebody. Anybody.
I mean, mental health. Yeah, mental health is a real thing, and you don't. People, they can look fine one day and then be feeling different the next day. I mean, it is.
I mean, that's a manic depressive right there. You're describing. Usually is. You can feel happy, and then 2 minutes later, even you could feel down.
I wonder, I mean, if there was a trigger thing, because I mean, he was in Fort Worth, he was at the Colonial.
And
then
he pulled out on Friday for illness.
Yeah.
And I don't know if, who knows,
travel.
It's unfair to speculate, but I wonder,
by Reed.
If there's something with him and his fiance that weren't going good, but
maybe.
Yeah. Like you never, like I said, we don't know the story. So it's just very, very sad all around.
It is. It's sad. It's a big loss for a guy who had a, really a good looking future going so far. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
he was 30, but still was having a pretty
Well,
good
let me
run.
ask you. I'm going to change the subject a little bit here, Porter.
Go for
What
it.
do you think about the guy who won the Indy 500 with that scandal from his crew chief, I believe it is?
I didn't hear the
Betting scandal.
scandal. I
His crew
saw that
chief.
he won back to back, but I did not hear
Yeah.
about the scandal.
That's his second one. Yeah, you're right. Back to back for what's the guy's name again? Hey, where'd I have it?
Vanderhoofen or something, but he's American.
Yeah. It's written down, but I don't know where it went.
And that's something that being in this area that it's close for me to get to Indianapolis. I do want to get, as my son's a little bit older, to get out to the Indy 500. That's just been something I've always kind of wanted to go to. I've always thought that'd be a fun race to get to.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest racing fan by any means, but
Right.
experience. You got to go at least once to the Indy 500. I believe.
Although I was seeing some clip, 1996, the Atlanta Speedway race. I'm like, this is the most American thing I've ever seen, and it's all the cars lined up taking their kind of prelim lap, testing out the cars, and then like 3 Apache helicopters come over and fly over the cars and like make us lap with them. I'm like, geez, that's awesome. But yeah,
God, that's pretty good American right there.
that was the headline, the most American thing I've ever seen. To that picture I was watching, I was like,
if they re-show that video somewhere, they have to play Team America, World Police America. Fuck yeah, that's what you need to hear.
Very true. Very true.
But auto racing, I feel like, has really dropped. It has gone down the shitter lately.
Why is that?
They're just no one is watching anymore, and Indy 500 has turned into more of like a foreign sport, or the IndyCar racing, and then with
that's because
NASCAR,
IndyCar racing has just never been huge. NASCAR has always been the big draw here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, besides the Indy 500, nobody else watches any Indy races.
True. And then NASCAR, with the way they have, their point system and how they have if you win one session, you get a certain amount of points a race. Second session, it's really hard to figure out like who wins. They lost their core identity a long time ago. They tried to make it to where everyone.
Are we also looking at that through our own lenses, though, with that? Because NASCAR is one of the most attended sports, period. Like, they're packed at every single race. Every single race is a sellout. And like at Texas Motor Speedway, for example, you can bring in your own coolers of drinks and food and everything else. You can still buy.
Don't forget about RV Road. A lot of these racetracks,
exactly.
You can just sit in your own RV and watch it.
So, is it that it's not, or is it just that us being the casual observer that we're just not seeing the racers that we, kind of as we were growing up and seeing sports, we're not seeing those same types of racers we did at that time. Is it more of like that? Because to me,
I think it's more of that personally. Because to me, I lost interest when Dale Earnhardt, not Junior, but Dale Earnhardt crashed, unfortunately, and died, and we lost the 3. That's kind of when I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with racing. I mean, I was never big in it. Don't get me wrong.
My family's never been big in racing. I've never watched.
When I was like, I don't even care to watch the races anymore. At that
the only race I ever really sat down and watched was the Daytona 500 with Andrew Repp back in college.
I'll take that back. I watched the Indy that Dale Earnhardt.
He was rooting for Tony Stewart until Tony Stewart got knocked out, and then he went and grabbed his Kansas hat afterwards. And it was like, you turned to you can't change strategies. Right? And I don't. That was a good day of day drinking. Was about all I had with that. I haven't seen much. I mean, with the boys, I've watched a little bit, like a race here and there, but I've never really kept up with racing. So that's why I've kind of, that's why I asked that question. being that none of us are big race fans, I know people who are huge race fans who, no matter what, are out there and they can tell you anything about every single driver out there, which one they hate and still do, and everything else. And all of these races are being sold out, and the stands are packed because the race fans are rabid. They're more rabid than hockey fans when it comes down to it.
Yeah,
True.
I know at least from a TV perspective, they have gone down.
Well, they don't really. Yeah, I agree with you in that is that they don't really have anyone they can market. They don't have that
Their market's all at the game.
guy.
Or at
I
the
mean,
race, I should say.
Earnhardt Jr. is not racing anymore. That was one guy they were really trying to rally behind, but mainly because he didn't have the wins, but he had the name.
Right.
Yeah, and then
And
you
the
had
legacy.
Kyle Busch. But I mean, a lot of these guys, they're getting old. They're not going to be racing much longer.
Well,
if they
yeah,
are.
all the names are retiring.
Who's next right
So
now?
Tony said Jimmy
mean-
Johnson's gone, and he was like the king of the track for a long
The
time.
The last race I watched was like maybe a year, 2 years ago, because Wyatt would watch a car race because he was really just watch the cars, and I was just rooting for Martin Trudeau just because I was like, okay, he's got the Bass Pro truck, and I know or the Bass Pro car, and he's one of the few that I actually remember seeing his name because I haven't seen it in years. So I mean, I think maybe that's what it is they just don't have a dominant name that they can really market out right now. I mean, yeah, if you're a NASCAR fan, yeah, you're gonna know these names. You're gonna know that. But for the casual fan, I mean, that's like a casual NBA. This is like the casual NBA fan who only watches the playoffs, and they're just now learning about Luka because literally since these last 3 games, all of the reels on Facebook, which have never been basketball related, everything is Luka dominated now. Everything is going about Luka all the time. Everything. You see it on YouTube, on everywhere else. It's blowing up, and it's because these casual fans are now seeing what we've known and seen for years. But it's these casual fans. So I think that with that NASCAR thing, that's what it is that we're the casual fans in this. So until somebody actually steps up and starts really dominating and putting their mark on the sport, we're not gonna. It's gonna seem like it's kind of falling down because we're not seeing anybody dominating that in that aspect. That's just my personal feeling on it.
No, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, come on, let's close out the Coors strong.
Yes, Mavs, let's do that.
A big 3 by Hardy a minute ago, and I have to say, Jaden Hardy has really put in some good minutes.
Yeah.
He has.
And don't forget now, you got Gobert with 4 fouls, Cat with 5, and Ant with 4. All 3 of their big guys.
Yeah, and
Kyle Anderson has at least 3.
Kyrie just missed another layup, and that's the thing is he's missed so many layups. Like I know that some have been contested.
No, somebody just got a dunk.
So many misses. It's just it's frustrating. Yeah, that was Jaden Hardy. Jaden Hardy.
All right, Walker.
And Hardy, I've talked about him multiple times. How when he came in at crunch time, he always came in and scored. He played big. He put in, and he's been getting some big minutes here in the Western Conference Finals, and he's been taking advantage of them.
The hell?
Okay. Use them John Redcorns.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say, Green has had a few shots put in his face, but he has played some really good defense throughout this whole series.
Josh Green.
Josh Green has played some great defense this series. He's
Speaking of Hardy,
really, really good.
Green played good, especially tonight. He's looked pretty good. He's been out there.
He's been a good guy to come off the bench and come in, and he's been on Ant every time he's like the minute he's come out on defense, he goes and takes Ant.
There you go, Ant.
It doesn't matter who's out there. If Green comes out on the court, he goes and D's up Ant. He immediately goes after him every single time, and I like that. I like that mentality. It goes, I'm coming off the bench, but I'm coming to come take the best player. I'm going to D him up. So end of the third, 78-73, Minnesota leads.
I'm going to bring up a little Ranger news during this little break here, too. Eovaldi is skipping his rehab start, but he's going to make the next start against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, he played tonight.
Yeah. So
he started tonight.
He's back, and Wyatt Langford has been activated. I don't know if he started, though, or not.
Eovaldi started tonight.
I'm saying Langford.
Yep.
So I don't know if they put Langford back in immediately, but he got activated, too. Off the DO.
And I've said it before when we talked about Wyatt whenever he got activated again, if he should go back down or just muscle up. Maybe you give him, a month down in the minors just to let him get some confidence back. Yeah, he's going against lower pitching, but get some at bats, get some infield play, just build his confidence back up, then try to bring him back up again. Maybe that's probably the best. I've been thinking about this since we had that conversation when he first went down, and what do you do with him?
Right.
And yeah, I think I'm leaning towards give him a little time back down in the minors, just a little bit, not the rest of the season. I mean, if you have to leave him down the rest of the season, it's okay.
Yeah,
but see how he does. At least give him some.
I can agree with him. I mean, that's usually a typical thing too. Is when you come off the DL, then you start your rehab a little bit more usually.
Yeah,
and you get your stints
you start rehab. You stay down the minors for a little bit. Let him go down there and see if he can start figuring some things out. And
maybe that power back that he had.
Well, he did contact. He wasn't
the
Rangers need contact.
Rangers need the power. Period. They have no power whatsoever.
Although Seager's on a 20-game hit streak.
I was going to say,
I don't know if he completed it today or not, but Seager's got at least contact.
Seager figured it out. He before this last set of games, he's had 6 home runs in the last 10 games, and before that he had 5 home runs.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Seager anymore.
No. Well, Seager was going to figure it out. You knew he'd figure it out.
Yeah, sure.
As they were talking about the radio earlier,
it was more about health with him than it was him figuring it out. Can he stay healthy and figure it out at the same time?
The thing is, with Seager, he got 2 home runs in a game the other day where we finally got a win against the Twins. Finally got a win. Fine. But it's like when Seager's on fire, the rest of the team's not scoring runs. But when Marcus Semien is on fire, the rest of the team is scoring runs. Yeah. Look back at the stats. You'll see that. When Semien is playing well and he's hitting and, driving that offense, the rest of the team is. But when Seager's doing it.
I don't know about all that. I mean, they're still a middling team right now. I mean,
no,
they're okay.
Look into it. I mean, it's something to look into, something to, for inquiring minds. But I'm happy that Seager has tweaked what he needs to, and he's knocking the cover off the ball. I'm happy about that. Very, very happy about that.
Yes. Right.
7th homer in 7 games for Seager.
Yeah, and at least a 21-game hit streak.
I'll take it. I mean, he's
one
of the best
right now. Don't get me wrong.
One of the best players in baseball.
Just don't bring up Jack Leiter again, for the love of God. God damn it!
Tell me how you feel, Joe.
Jack Leiter needs to start. Hey, the experience is good. Hey, get belted around. You see what it is. Take what you learned from it. You got to fail before you can succeed. Michael Jordan said, "I missed, 3 times the amount of shots that I made." You got to learn how to lose before you can learn how to win. Ah. I'm waiting for a commercial before I go get a little refill here before we move on. Now you'll know this, Jeff. How long does Minnesota have Naz Reid under contract?
They just signed him to a free agent deal last year. There was a 3-year, $42 million deal.
He's earning every single penny of it right now.
He is.
No,
he was already got the Sixth Man of the Year.
He got Sixth Man of the Year. He should get a contract extension. You better not let him go because he's an integral piece to the future of your franchise. He truly is. But that's the thing. He got Sixth Man of the Year, which he well deserved, but he should be in the starting lineup. He should have been the starting lineup in Game 2.
Well, I mean, they essentially made that decision at the end of, starting in the fourth quarter. Cat's not coming back in because Cat sucks, and Naz Reid is playing just as well as not just as well, a hell of a lot better than he is.
Well, as much as
Cat's also got 5 fouls.
As much as we've shit all over Cat, which everybody's been shitting all over Cat, Jeff, at what point do you hold Finch responsible for starting the exact same starting 5, doing the exact same thing every single game and expecting different results?
I don't have an answer. I wish I did.
Do you hold him as accountable as you're holding Cat at sucking?
I think coaching staff was responsible for blowing Game 2 for sure. Having Gobert
out there on the court at that time, absolutely.
Well, the switch too. I mean, they knew they should have done the switch.
Wow, those alley-oop passes, Dallas is the new Lob City. They truly, truly are.
Just can't.
Mm-hmm.
How many?
It's fucking amazing.
That's what I was listening to that earlier.
Even the Clippers with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin didn't throw up this many alley-oops. They didn't. It's amazing. It's truly amazing.
And Kyrie got his bucket there. That's when the Timberwolves think they're pulling away. The Mads are just right back there.
They have that run. And that vision that Luka has when he's going down the court, Donald Jones Jr. signed with the team at the beginning of the season. I know they've had the whole season of playing together, but even with the trade with Gafford and PJ Washington and everything, just the way that these guys have just come onto the team and just know all I got to do is run and jump, and he's going to put it in my hands in the right spot. Just how they've been able to figure it out so quickly. It's mind-blowing. It truly, truly is.
I need a drink now.
I need a refill as well. So we'll take a minute break here, and we'll come back and get, or either that or Caleb will just sit here and talk to himself like he did earlier.
I'll just sit here and talk to myself again. 1 is the loneliest number. He's back.
You got that song stuck in my head now.
Yep. It's what I do best. Oh man. So that's the only thing I'm not happy about Draymond Green's retirement. He's gonna be in a whole bunch more commercials or on the talk show.
I fucking can't stand Draymond.
It's I don't want to see you.
And then they're gonna try and turn him into the next Charles Barkley.
Yeah. No. He'll probably be. They'll try to turn him into the next Kenny. In all honesty,
Draymond.
Yeah. Whenever he retires, because my guess is because Ernie's staying. He's already said that if they do just kind of pick this up and move it and take Shaq and Barkley and Kenny, they're gonna try to probably make Kenny Ernie and Draymond Kenny.
It's not going to be the same thing, though. Ernie's the glue that holds all this together.
I don't know.
It's not going to be the same. You can lose Kenny. You cannot lose Ernie.
I think you can lose Ernie just fine these days. They've done it where they've had people come in and sub him. they've had people sub for everybody. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
Yeah,
that's
but
fine.
it's not as
I mean,
good.
Shaq and Barkley together are your greatest comic duo. That's the
Well,
two
true.
you can
Having
keep together. The
those
rest of
are
it
the two you have
is
to
movable
go-
parts, in my opinion.
Ernie,
I mean, Ernie's
Ernie's
funny and is like a
he's the
straight
glue.
man. Don't get me wrong,
He's
but
the glue that holds it all together.
they've done fine when they put in the standings.
Oh, what?
I guarantee you, if you asked everyone on that crew who's the most important person on that crew, they'd say Aaron.
Well, yeah, because he kind of started it too.
Gafford is just SWAT steady. Get out of here.
Oh, is that 5 on Go Bear?
SWAT! That's 2 blocks from Gafford on Cat. 2. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Luka.
Oh, Luca traveled before the foul, but meh.
That's the thing in the NBA. There are so many travels, double dribbles, carrying. You see the guys.
Well, moving
break
screens
all up
even.
on
I've counted
all
like
the
6 of
time.
them in this series. I'm just like,
They let
I guess we don't call those
much
anymore.
away. Well,
Yeah.
there's a time to call them, but there's also a time to let the guys play.
But that
And
just has got to piss the players off. Like, why are
It
you calling
doesn't.
it now and not all the time?
That's the thing, is that you have to establish that as an officiating crew at the beginning of the game, that you're going to call this, and if you're going to call, you have to call it the same the
Yep.
entire game. You
I can see
cannot
that
let
being
it.
off.
You just got to call it fair.
You know
Whether
what was
you're
crazy
calling
too
bad,
is how bad
call
the
it fair.
officiating was last game. Oh, they changed it. Okay, so now Dallas has to challenge it. I think this is.
Huh?
I think that's easily off Minnesota.
What are you talking about?
But I mean, both teams used their challenges so early and lost them.
Oh yeah, they're
And
very,
then they didn't
they're
have it
bad
when they
about
needed
it.
them later in the game. And you're just like,
in
weak shit
the way,
challenges.
in the game, the ones they've challenged on, it's like, okay, is this like a game changing? No, this is like one possession.
Yeah, because Kid did that in game 1.
He did.
Yeah.
It's like that. This is one possession. You don't need to challenge this in the first quarter. Save it.
Right.
You don't need this in the
Agreed.
fourth.
Agreed.
But yeah, anyways, 8:23 left in the fourth, tied 83-83. A low scoring game here tonight. Really low scoring game, but an exciting
Well,
game.
the Mavs haven't made their shots. They're back to missing their threes. Defensive 3 seconds. That's a technical.
Again, love hearing the future.
So I figured out about 23 seconds above you whenever you said your time and score.
Yep, exactly. That's why I put it out there, just so you guys know where I'm at.
Oh.
But yeah, that was on Gafford. Gafford just kept camping out in the lane. He set up a tent, a campfire, was just hanging out down there, just enjoying himself. Got a fishing pole. He was good to go. And Carl Anthony Towns shooting. Oh, look, he made a shot. Good for him. Good for him. He needed that. SWAT. Oh, steal. Oh, come on. I am really loving the overreaction of every player on both teams. Like with every official call, whatever the officials call, it's just like hands on head. Like, what's going on? Like both sides. Both sides.
Why does nobody come in for that rebound?
This has to be the most entertaining potential sweep in NBA history.
Oh, this has just been one of the best series I've seen in a while. Whether it ends up in a sweep or whatever it ends up in is, it's just been a great series to me. Like both teams are so even. It's not going to come
and like
out.
you said, I mean, it's a sweep, but they've been winning by like 1 or 2 points a game.
Yeah. It's not a dominating. It's not going to be a domination sweep. It's not going to be. It's not like what Minnesota did to Phoenix, where it was just complete step on the throat. You're done,
Oh
which is
yeah.
what should have happened exactly. But no one would have called this. No one called this. Woo, PJ. I mean, I'm the only one who called out of us three. I'm the only one who even called Dallas to win, and I called it 6, possibly 7 games.
Yeah.
But of course, when I made that prediction, I expected Karl Anthony Towns to actually, make an appearance
Well,
and
yeah.
not suck ass the
Well, like
entire
we even
time.
talked about, like when I predicted the Pacers over the Celtics, I was like, I wasn't expecting Halliburton to go down in game 2, like halftime.
Well, still, in that's a discussion we've already had. It should be Pacers 3-1 Pacers right now. It should be. It should be. Even
Give or
before
take, yeah.
even before he went down, they should have won game 1. There's no reason.
Oh yes. Like I said, they just didn't know what to do. They dribbled it on them by themselves, off of themselves.
And
out of
Halliburton
bounds
looked
and
terrible at
turnovers.
the end of game 1 too. He didn't do him
He did.
his team favors. But that's
That
also
he did.
them learning how to win. They needed to learn how to win. Boston at least, knows how to win.
Yeah,
And they proved it. They won
I
when they
agree.
should have won.
I agree.
Sometimes that's what you know how to win. You win when you shouldn't win. You do. I agree,
Yeah,
Stan.
I mean,
Andy, what a game. What a game.
this is the time to attack the centers, in all honesty. Both of them have 5 fouls. That's a great comment. Just attack that basket.
And that's what any team would do, no matter what. If you've got opposing, star players in foul trouble, you attack them with everything you have. You attack them. You don't shoot threes. You attack the basket. You take them out of the game.
Now, we'll give Minnesota props. Their bigs are playing much better together. Like, if they played like this right now, how they're playing these last few minutes, they wouldn't be in the situation they're in. I mean, they're feeding off each other, which is how they should be doing it.
Cat down low pass to Rudy for that open dunk. Yeah, that's exactly what they should have been doing the whole time instead of Cat out there jacking up random threes and playing lead.
Like I said, play off each other. I mean, you've got the size. That's what Dallas has been doing and getting all these easy alley-oops.
And he hasn't looked good tonight, but he has looked good the rest of the series. But really, Anderson, why does his 3-point shot look like Charles Barkley's golf swing?
It's very
why?
It's like Sean Marion's.
No, he makes Sean Marion's shot look like a textbook shot. That is terrible. Like the first time I saw him,
I can't tell you.
I wanted to shoot a 3. I go, how the hell did he make that? That was ridiculous. Oh, come on. Kai has missed way too many wide open layups. That is absurd.
Don't look now, but Cat's starting to make his threes.
Welcome again to the future. Now I get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, he's wide open.
2 threes he's made. Yeah, that's not.
He better make
wide,
that 3. It's wide open.
I guess NBA standards wide open.
Yeah, that's wide open NBA standards. It is. And if I'm the Mavericks, I'm attacking Cat. I'm going right at him.
Well, you attack Cat, you attack Gobert. They both have 5.
I'm going right at him, and I'm going to.
You attack Ant because he's got 4.
I'd attack them both. I drive right at him. And make him, hey, you're going to foul me or I'm going to make this shot. And even if I make this shot, I'm going to make sure you foul me. Take him out of the game. That's what you do.
I agree with you. Like I said, that's why I said attack them. Problem is the Mavs are starting to get into the same thing the Wolves did where they're kind of, it's 3-point time. It's like, no, attack, please.
Well, regardless of where this game ends, because we probably maybe if Timberwolves are able to pull out and hold this game, I don't know if they'll be able to. They're not going to be able to win 4 games in a row. We're all going to be honest about that. That's not going to happen. Even if they win another game in Minnesota, still come back to Dallas, I think it will end in Game 6, which is what I originally predicted. But regardless, what are your guys' plans on filling up your time in between the end of this series and the start of the finals? But I mean, I know we've got hockey to watch. We do have
Stars.
We have the Stars, go Stars. But besides that, how are you guys filling your sports time in between now and then?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have Bollies. I'm like Jeff, so I can't add the Rangers to my watch list either.
Well, you're not missing much. You're not missing much.
I'm not, but
I think hockey for me, and then I don't know. The golf this weekend isn't really that good. They go to Canada. Oh, if I know what to do.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
The Stars are there now.
Tell me
you have to, hey, look, you can watch Live. There you go.
Oh, speaking of Live, did you hear where they're going to Carrollton in September?
In September, they'll be in Carrollton? Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Are you going to go?
You could see
Are
them,
you
Jeff,
going to be in attendance?
The question now is, will you go?
I will rule it out.
Are you going to go there and boo Phil Mickelson?
I might just do that.
Why not?
I might go to Live.
You're going to go?
I think I might,
should.
yeah.
You should do it. You should do it, and you should take some live stream, put it on the Next Round Sports Facebook page and social media pages. I think you should. I think you should go. You should go there, and you should give your report, and then you can give us your full report of how you enjoyed the Live. And you've been to PGA events, you've been to Byron Nelson, you've been to PGA events, so you can give us a side by side comparison from one to the other. I like it. Done. Sold.
I think I'll probably freaking do it. Just wanted to see what it's all about.
Do it. Go for it. Go for it.
You got time.
Now next year, when I've already signed up for ticket information, but the U.S. Open will be here in Pittsburgh at Oakmont Country Club. Yes. So I've already signed up for information on that, and we'll be going taking my sons so that they get to see their favorite golfer, Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah.
Hopefully he won't get arrested.
But Oakmont, though, and you're taking them to like a historic course too.
So. Very historic course. I actually built a home right across the street from it.
What?
Yeah, remember he built that house out there.
Yeah, I built a house right across the street from it.
You gotta watch it with that guy still, even though you're not in the same location.
I'm not with the company anymore, of course, but yeah, I don't have his number anymore. It was in the work phone that was with that company. So, but I know where it is, so I can still stop by and say hi to the guy and and get his number in my personal phone and get a parking pass. So,
right,
I can still get a parking spot set up. But yeah,
fuck
getting up there, taking them there. That way, my boys can see them and see their other favorite golfer, Brooks Koepka.
Fuck your old employer.
Hey, yeah, I agree. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Just like me. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you're liberty.
God, I don't know how long that's gonna last, but we'll see.
As long as the emu does, or the stash.
Yeah.
Lebu. Ebu.
It's gonna be like 2 more weeks. Dude, broke guy. Holy shit, that reminds me to talk about short-term disability and whatnot.
I hope he's okay. They gave him something good. That knee looks.
I hope he's okay, but why was he riding that stupid thing?
I know. It's a dumbass. He's a dumb.
Bro, guy, we love you, but realize you're
full of cum, as they say.
Hey, we're not young. We're not in college anymore. We can do that stupid shit and just get up and deal with it after that.
Right.
We're old now. I'm not riding anything that I know will hurt me. Because I know if I fall off it, I'm going to get hurt. I ain't doing that shit anymore. I'm old.
Right.
I'm doing it. Even as my wife told my kids, Daddy's not running.
There's no
unless he
contact. That's not a foul.
Yeah, there was no contact there. No
I
contact.
mean, hands are up.
God damn it! How many fucking times are you gonna dick around for the line?
Ugh.
Well, we know he missed a free throw.
Basketball speaks the truth, Jeff.
But that's the thing in basketball. Even with your hands up, you're still going to get called for the foul. That's just the way that it goes. That's the game. That's the game. You can't argue that. You can't argue that, but it's still going to be. That's where it is.
I think Jeff's even more in the future than either of us.
Oh, he absolutely is, because I'm about to watch Rudy Gobert miss a free throw right now. Donk.
Yeah. Kanok.
I don't know. I think it's just as satisfying, even though I know it was not going to happen anyway.
Right.
And this isn't just, because of the series and hating on the Timberwolves or anything. But what other player is disliked more than Rudy Gobert?
I don't know.
And
Booker.
really, a lot of it but Devin Booker also didn't do the COVID thing where he went and freaking licked every fucking microphone.
That's where it all started.
Yeah.
That is where it all started, where he became like the huge.
That's
dick
definitely off Dallas,
but it's like what other player is disliked as much as him, but it's also warranted. I mean, he kind of did it to himself.
Oh yeah, he did.
I mean, in Dallas's world, Devin Booker's definitely more hated because he's just a little bitch who's overrated.
Correct.
Ah!
Well, I don't think he's respected by the league either.
No, he's not. Although we did talk a bit about the other day that he may, there were some rumors about him, leaving and maybe going to New York. And I hope that he does, because he will get roasted by the New York media. Just completely roasted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, Dallas. We need the sweep.
I want the sweep because I want Lucas to have the rest. I want Minnesota to win.
Can somebody attack him, please?
I want Minnesota to win because I would like one more game between these two teams. Like, if Minnesota wins, I'm okay with it because I want one more game. I'm really, really enjoying this series. Like, I'm enjoying this matchup. It's really enjoyable. It's enjoyable to watch. But I want rest for Luka. So I want the Mavericks to win for that reason. And I also don't want 9 days without basketball.
Cat's showing up now.
I'm in a different, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he's off the milk carton, as they said. That's why I said I understand he's got 5 fouls. Attack him. Try to draw that last foul on him.
Yeah, with him heating up, they should be running the ball. It doesn't matter. Okay, who's he guarding? Throw the ball to him, and he needs to drive and attack into Cat each time.
And instead we're taking these janky threes.
Yeah. Stop taking janky threes. You attack. You need to attack Cat. They're gonna give him the ball. He's trying to heat check it.
I agree. I mean, Luka should have gone right at Cat, but instead he passed it out, and
then we have a 3. Yeah. Attack Cat and go in for the high percentage shot.
Yep. Great move by Ant.
2 minutes left in the fourth.
Great move by Ant. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's 6. There you go. And yeah, you didn't leave room for him to land.
Yep. That's 6. Cat has fouled out. That's what needed to happen.
That should have happened about a minute ago by them attacking.
It should have happened. It should have happened 3 minutes ago. But Luka finally did it. Yep,
And
he
it's
didn't
only
get
because
anybody-
it was on a 3 that he got him in the air too. Otherwise,
see-
that's not a planned attack.
Well, Towns acted surprised afterwards, but you saw after he jumped in his face, he realized he messed up.
Well,
He
yeah.
realized because he
Anytime
jumped,
you get
he
in the
knew he
air
was
against Luka, you usually mess up.
And
Yeah,
he did it on a
usually
fucking
mess up.
3.
Yep,
Yeah.
he jumped, and you saw his face as he jumped. I just
I
effed up.
swear to God, man, sometimes Cat could be the dumbest fucking player in the NBA.
You were
He
just
has been
praising him.
in this series. In this series, he has been. Because now they're able to give the opportunity to shoot 3
Mm-hmm. With the clock
and
stopped.
get this back down to 5 without the clock running.
Doncic has another triple double in the playoff.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise.
I mean, he's
surprise.
Mr. Triple Double right now. he, he might wind up with
Playoff
more
triple
triple
doubles
doubles than
all
Oscar
time.
Robertson, but I don't
He is
know.
9.
Yeah, he's ninth in playoffs all time.
The man's a
There you
triple
go.
double.
Attack the basket.
He is.
Oh, that should have been Irving's ball. Come on, Luka, you're better than that.
Oh damn! Now, like you guys keep keeping me on my toes here. Now I gotta keep watching it even more intently. Yes.
Kyrie lost that going up too.
Mm,
Defense.
Oh. What a game!
Mm-hmm.
What a game! And it's been expected. This whole series has been like this.
Oh, God.
Oh, they counted as a 2? Thought that was a 3.
Yeah, definitely a 2. Shit. One more game. One more game.
I'm fine with that.
It's
I'm
looking
okay
like
with
it.
it. I wanted the rest for Luca. I want the rest for Luca. That's what I wanted the sweep for because Boston got the sweep.
Mhm.
So I wanted the sweep for the rest. But the basketball fan in me wants another game because this series has been so good. This has been so much fun to watch because it's
Yeah.
been so close. Every single
Very
game.
true. Very true.
The only thing is now Minnesota
Monty
has
got
a
his ring
chance of-
tonight too. Yeah, I
Minnesota
forgot.
has
He
a
was the
chance
one
of
Ranger that
losing it
didn't
on
have his
their
ring
home
yet.
court.
Yeah.
Well deserved, Monty. Montgomery. Montgomery got his ring when we played the
Oh yeah,
Diamondbacks tonight.
yeah.
Fuck
Mhm.
it.
And
Okay,
I wouldn't
Jeff.
say fuck him. It was his man. It was his agent who fucked him on that.
Oh,
Yes,
sure. I'm glad
very
he
true,
and I'm
very
glad he
true.
fired his agent.
Yes.
Mhm. Which he did because he wanted to be back with the Rangers, which we could have fucking used him. Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
All right, end of the game here.
I just think it's funny that Scott Boras is the one that gets fired for a change.
I know that was nice. What the fuck, Kyrie? Seriously?
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I don't know what the fuck Kyrie was thinking on that. That was a terrible pass. Now, what, Thursday would be the next game? So, what, you want to do another broadcast on Thursday, Jeff? Because apparently that's the only way Timberwolves can win.
Fuck me. Well, this game's not over yet.
Oh, this game's over. It's 20 seconds left. On my side over here, it's 20.3 seconds left. 103.97. So, yeah, it's done.
Well, it's catching up.
Don't call things done just yet, man. Keep watching your TV.
What?
It's done. I think it hit 3. That's what it is.
That's number
Luka.
5 on the ant, too.
Fucking
3 and 1.
Luka.
and fouled.
He fouled. He fouled him. That was not a
That's
good
a
foul.
bad man.
What are you doing?
That was a bullshit shot. Oh, that was a bullshit.
It was.
But what are you fucking fouling for? Dude.
Answering it like, how the fuck did he make that?
Oh, he missed it, though.
Oh, thanks for that. Jesus. See, that's why I'm okay with this series going one more game. I think it's amazing. So amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Such an amazing series. Wow.
I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
You missed it. And I'm like, as much as I want Luka to have the rest, I do want him to have the rest. I'm okay because this gives me another day of basketball. So this game will go to Thursday. Then I don't have to wait a week until I have to see it if Mavericks close it out in Minnesota. Regardless, Lively's going to be resting. Regardless.
Yeah, you probably won't play game 5 if there is one.
They shouldn't play him game 5. They should not play him. He should rest.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure he got a concussion.
Do that, though.
And even though
Lively?
Yeah, Lively. He got a concussion. He had to. But in that one, I believe was unintentional by Cat. But before that, where Cat hit him in the nuts with the knee, I think that was intentional.
I was talking to Jeff about that. Jeff says that's not unintentional.
That was absolutely intentional.
No,
you don't leave the knee like that. Bullshit. You don't leave the knee like that unless he saw him coming up. He led with his knee. That's what it was. I don't think he meant to hit him in the nuts, but he meant to lead with his knee to keep him blocked off of the way.
That's what I was saying too.
But the thing is, it's just like your nuts are right there. Sorry, dude. But your nuts on the line.
Sorry, dude. You don't do that to a man.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Lively gave Cat no
Broke his parents without power.
Josh Reed getting the layup.
Thank you.
How'd they leave him wide open?
Thank you, guys. Thank
yeah.
you.
Well, I just get hey, the benefit of this is I get to annoy my wife with one more night. Mavs Timberwolves.
One more Mavs Timberwolves game. Mm-hmm.
Which she has acquiesced that I've gotten to, actually watch the games. I mean, most of them I've watched them on my phone, and then after we watch our shows, we'll put them up on the big TV. But I know a couple Stars games I've gotten to watch the whole game up on the big TV, and she's just kind of sat with me and watched with them.
Nice. There you go.
And I keep getting I hate this. Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, he had to say some probably unpleasant words, assuming, the Mavs probably lose this game, but we'll see.
go, Wolves.
Mm-mm-mm.
Go, Wolves.
Yep. There's a clock malfunction though, Jeff.
Yep, clock malfunction.
Oh, fine. Give him one more sec.
Two tenths. Maz in the ball. We need a 5-point play, guys. Are we gonna make that?
In this game, hey, kudos to Minnesota. Good job. Way to come out and show some tactical fortitude. Good for them. This game I put more on Kyrie played like shit. Kyrie did not have the game that he's had the
Luka
last
missed a
3
bunch
games.
of shots early too.
Luka did miss some shots, but he missed the same amount of shots he missed in the first 3 games. Kyrie, what did he do tonight? What did he do? He didn't do anything. How many times did I sit here and go, "Oh, Kyrie's missing another wide open layup"? This loss I put on Kyrie.
I would agree. And also, you didn't.
Good for Minnesota. Good for Minnesota. And like I said, I'm happy I get to watch another game. I get another game between these two teams because this is an exciting series and I'm enjoying it. I don't see Minnesota coming back in any way. I don't see them winning this series in any way. I don't see them winning 4 games. I don't.
I think the key is that Kyrie didn't show up tonight. You missed Lively, and then other than
Cat finally showed up too.
Yep, Cat did finally show up before he fouled out.
Right, and then PJ Washington had another horrible game. He did nothing for you tonight.
Until the fourth quarter.
He hit a couple
about 10
threes,
points in the fourth quarter, but that's about it.
He didn't do a lot.
In the impossible happen.
No, it can't. Minnesota's a good team, but they're not going to beat Dallas 3 games in a row.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a team 3 years in a row, or a team 3 games in a row.
It's hard to win. Yeah, it's
true. Yeah, you gotta have 4 in a row. That's true.
4 in a row.
I mean, you have one bad night, and that's it.
That's all it is. And
I mean, like I said, I think they probably win. Mavs should win this in the next game. You would like them to win this game, but sweeping a team is just as hard as trying to win 4 in a row.
It's easy to sweep a team when their best player gets hurt in game 2. I mean, that's really, really easy to sweep a team. Really easy.
Yeah.
Boston.
Right.
But yeah, I see if Dallas, I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota wins Thursday night at Minnesota. I wouldn't be surprised about that. I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't see them winning again in Dallas to then win again in Minnesota to go win 4 games in a row.
They do win games.
Never happened. Eventually it will happen. At some point.
I mean, the Dallas history too in the playoffs is a little.
Well, you can say that, but also the Spurs have that same stigma of the 1 seed losing to the 8 seed. So it's not like so does Boston.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
That stigma got buried pretty quickly. But no, it's 1 game. I'm not worried. They'll probably, I wouldn't, and now that's the thing is, I'll tell you right now, I would not be surprised if Minnesota wins in Minnesota on Thursday. I will not be surprised. Now, everyone in the national media will immediately jump onto the bandwagon of, now it's the team that's going to finally do it, and what's going on with Luke and Kyrie, and this is because it's easy to jump onto the bandwagon of either side. If it does,
Yeah, probably true.
that's easy to do. But because what else are they going to talk about as far as basketball wise? They can't talk about Boston, Indiana, because that's already done.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll try to dig up any story that they can. I wouldn't be surprised if
Very
Minnesota
true.
wins in Minnesota just because they'll defend home court. But to go back to Dallas, win again, then back to Minnesota, win again, it's a lot. It is. It's a lot.
Well, of course it is. Yeah.
I mean, that'd be the first time ever.
It would be the first time ever in the history of the NBA. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But I just don't see it happening. Don't see it happening.
Yeah.
And I see Dallas winning next game at 5, make it a gentleman's sweep.
And what's crazy is that even 4 of the 156 NBA teams have only made it to a game 7, less than
Yep.
3%.
Yeah, I mean, 90% of them, or 95% apparently have been won in a sweep when you go up 3-0. So,
Yeah.
vast majority of them are done.
Jeff, I'm glad your mood has brightened since we first started, recording tonight,
Yeah.
because you weren't even going to watch the game tonight.
Very
You weren't
true.
even going to watch it.
No. I wasn't
You know
even
what? They ended up getting the win, and see, that's why I wanted to get you, because I knew, like I told my wife, he doesn't even want to watch the game. I go, they're going to end up winning tonight because he doesn't want to watch it. He's going to be all whiny baby about it, and they're going to end up winning for him, so he'll be in a good mood at the end of the night.
Agree.
You didn't get swept. You weren't
I
swept.
know.
Congratulations.
And I've made the determination I'm going to go to a live event in September.
Oh, God.
Yay! Good. We want, hey, you need to try to, talk to as many players as you can. Like, if you can get close to any players and talk to them, see if you can interview them. Ooh, do it.
My God.
Do it. Why
Bet you
not?
won't.
What's it hurt? What's it hurt?
Talk to DeChambeau. Get an interview.
Any of
There
them.
you go.
Any of them. Just walk up to and go, hey, my name's Jeff Amos. I'm with Next Round Sports. Can I do a quick interview with you?
You gotta get a limited tag.
Ooh, walk in there and see if you can get a press pass.
There you go.
Dude, that'd be
Do
the
it.
most
Do
amazing
it.
thing
Walk
ever.
in there. Walk in there with your shit hanging low. Just fucking, hey, I'm Jeff Amos with Next Round Sports. I need to get my press pass.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Why
Bet
not?
you won't.
What? How
I
many other
will.
fucking podcasts do it? Do it. Why not? Go for it. You know what? I'll start looking that up. I'll see if
So
we can see if we
Barstool
can
started
let's
fucking
see if we
doing,
can
I'm
get you-
sure.
Yeah, let's see if we can get you a press pass and get you in there. And you got to go in there and ask them like some weird fucking questions, like weird. Get them to like sit there looking and go, huh?
Do you like chili dogs?
If you can make Brooks Koepka go, what the fuck? That'd be great.
I think if I somehow got Brooks Koepka to laugh, I've never heard him laugh before. If he were to do that, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, see if you can get him to laugh. Send me
Come up with a dad joke. There you go, Jeff.
Yeah. Mhm.
Come up with a golf dad joke.
Yeah, just be like, hey, you're doing really well out on the tour, and I just your fans and people on my package just like to know what's your best dad joke.
Yeah.
Just catch them completely off guard on that and see if they can give you one. I bet if you ask that question, anyone you ask that to is gonna laugh a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They'll either laugh. They'll either be like, "No, I'm not doing that," or they'll laugh and be like, "Tell you a dad joke." I mean, it's a win-win on that. I think that's a good question. I think you could sell that one.
Need to brush up on my live teams too.
No, you're gonna have to get all live. Hey, don't worry. They have an app. Download it. You can do your research.
There you go.
They have a fucking app. Are you kidding?
Yes, the Live Tour has an app.
Jesus.
You can follow just like the PGA app. I have them next to each other on my phone.
Oh,
With both.
all right.
No.
Shun the non-believer.
After this,
It's only for experimental purposes only.
after this, he's gonna become a live guy watching. He's gonna be like, this is awesome. He's gonna join in.
No.
One of us. One of us. One of us. One of us.
Fuck no. But yes, I'll go.
All
Perfect.
right. Get some.
Good. We'll look forward to that. Well, guys, this has been a fun kind of impromptu night. A little different than what our normal setup is. And you know, anyone out there watching, I hope you enjoyed it. You know, hope you enjoyed it was a little loosey goosey tonight. But we wanted to do a little something different, just mainly because we would be all watching the game going on this evening, and you know, didn't want to let that distract from our normal way that we run the podcast. So hopefully you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed it, you'd like to see more of the way that we've done this, or you know, give some critiques, let us know on our social media. And other than that, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us here this evening. You know, congratulations to Jeff.
Yes.
The Timberwolves getting the win, keeping the Mavericks from sweeping. We'll see if the Mavericks can get the gentleman's sweep Thursday night. They're in Minnesota. But well, no, they're not Canadian. Come on, man. They're close. They're like right next door, but they're not Canadian. Come on. Keep it but I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. For Jeff Amos, for Caleb Cole, this is Chris Porter, and we'll see everyone on the next round. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. And Florida just won early in overtime, so that series is tied now.
We're right at 2 hours.